Allison, and I'm here today to review Nomade, the Eau de Parfum by Chloe. And as you can see, I have a sample version. I don't have the full bottle. So as far as reviewing the packaging, the only thing I can say about the packaging is just based on what I've seen online, and I do think that the bottle looks very nice. I like how the bottle is shaped like Chloe's signature handbag. I think that's a really nice touch. I think it would look lovely on anybody's vanity. If you're into placing your perfumes on your vanity, it's kind of like a display item. I tend to keep my perfumes in the box to help them to last longer. So the way the bottle looks isn't as important, but I still appreciate the work that goes into crafting a nice bottle. So instead, we're going to be talking more about the fragrance itself. And I'm going to start off by talking about my first impression of this perfume when I sprayed it on a note card. So basically, the first time I sprayed it on a note card, well, honestly, the very first time I sprayed it on a note card was when I was getting into perfumes and checking out fragrances from the department store. So I was a little biased because I went to the department store looking for a gourmand type of scent. So Chloe didn't come off to me as a gourmand, so I didn't really appreciate it then. But the lady at the store did give me this sample. I brought it home, and once I tried it without that bias, I did have another impression of it. So the second time I sprayed this on a note card, my first impression was that I smelled the fruity notes and the musk immediately, and I smelled the citrus the most, but it's not surprising because the top notes are all citrus fruits. But I could still catch a whiff of sweetness, which is probably the jasmine and the peach notes. This is a very womanly scent, and I didn't think of this as a scent for girls or girlish women. I think the type of woman who wears this is a woman who feels like she's a womanly woman, a grown woman, an adult. My next impression of this was when I sprayed it on my skin, because if you know anything about perfumes, you do know that perfumes interact differently with each person. So the way it smells in the bottle isn't necessarily the way it's going to smell on your skin, and the way it smells on my skin isn't necessarily the way it's going to smell on your skin. So when I sprayed it on my skin, my first impression was that this is a sharp perfume. I just kept thinking this is sharp, but I didn't feel like it was abrasive. I didn't feel like it was an annoying sharpness. I actually felt like it was a pleasant sharpness. And again, I think that's because of the citrus nature of this. So I did feel like it was a citrusy perfume, but not in a sour way. I wasn't catching too much of the lemon, so I didn't feel like I was smelling a overly tart perfume. I mostly smelled the sweetness, and I think that's because of the Mirabelle notes, and probably also the jasmine. I feel like the Mirabelle note in that top layer of notes keeps the tanginess in check without canceling it altogether. Like, that tanginess from the lemon is still there, but it's not overpowering, it's not dominating. Another note in this perfume is freesia, and freesia is a sharp sweet flower that's also a bit citrusy. So I feel like it mixes with the jasmine and the peach and rose in the second layer to create another layer of tangy sweetness. But this tangy sweetness is a little different from the first sniff or the first layer that you catch when you first spray this perfume on your skin, but it's similar as well. So I like how the top notes and the middle notes, or the heart notes, are kind of similar, to kind of keep this from being a perfume where after you spray it, it smells vastly different from the way it smells when it dries down a little bit. It smells a little different, but not like a polar opposite type of smell. Okay, so as far as the base notes, I feel like the base notes create an earthy layer. And according to Chloe's press release, the supposed aim with this perfume is to make it more dirty, to make it dirtier than Chloe's signature perfume. And so that sounds unappealing, but it's not if you don't mind the smell of earthy dirtiness. So not the type of dirty that makes you think of someone who hasn't bathed in a while, more like the earthiness that you would smell if someone was outside gardening and they had a little dirt on their hands or a little dirt on their clothes, but they still had bathed that morning and wore a nice perfume. So you still catch a hint of that soil, I guess. So it's more like you're smelling a bouquet of flowers and a bowl of fruit, but the flowers are still in the pot with the soil. So you're still catching a hint of the soil as well. As far as the lasting power goes, and the sillage, also known as the impact or reach, when you first apply this, at least for me, you smell it around you for about 2 hours. And then after that, it's less intense, but it's still there. Others can smell it if they're probably an elbow's length away from you. I'm basing this on the fact that I wore this perfume to work, and I went to a conference that we were having, not really a conference, but we were bringing some freshmen on campus, and it was their kind of like pre-orientation day. While we were there, I was mentioning to my supervisor, you know, how much I enjoy smelling perfumes and sampling perfumes, and she was like, oh, okay. So she didn't initially smell it on me until she stepped closer to me to catch a whiff. So that's what I mean by saying that someone has to be about an elbow's length away from you. After 4 hours, I feel like this becomes a skin scent. You can still smell it if you make a point of inhaling the air an inch away from where you sprayed it on your skin, but you're no longer feeling like you're surrounded or enveloped by the fragrance. Also of note, by the time this becomes a skin scent, it reminds me more of Black Opium. So both of these perfumes, Black Opium and Nomade by Chloe, have jasmine and patchouli combined with woody notes. So that may be what I'm smelling from both of them to make me feel like Chloe smells more like Black Opium by the end of its effect on my body. My final thought is that I enjoy this scent a lot. To me, it is better than the Chloe signature perfume. It's a sensual, daring, sweet, tangy fragrance that makes me think of a woman who is both earthy and glamorous. And so this type of woman that I think of when I smell this perfume, her glamour isn't the blatant Marilyn Monroe type, but more like a Katharine Hepburn or Kate Blanchett type of glamour. And just to give you an idea of how much I enjoy this scent, it's almost gone. My little sample is running low, so it's gonna be a while before I wear this again, because I really do enjoy this scent. Like the next perfume I get, the next perfume that I make a full bottle perfume, I kind of want it to be this perfume. The other thing I want to mention is one con about Chloe Nomade and one pro about Chloe Nomade. So the con when it comes to Chloe Nomade is that it's not the longest lasting scent I've ever experienced. It's not horrible as far as the longevity, but it's not the best. Like I said earlier, after 4 hours, it becomes a skin scent. Because it doesn't last a super long time, it's not like a 12-hour or 24-hour perfume. Those do exist. This is a perfume that you can wear if you want to switch perfumes at some point in the day. So say you're going to work in the morning, but you know after work you're going to a nice event or a party or a date and you want to switch perfumes. Chloe Nomade is one of those perfumes that you can wear in the morning, and then you get home, take a quick shower, and you switch perfumes, and there won't be a sense of your perfumes clashing. The perfume you wore in the day won't clash with the perfume you wore at night, because by the time nighttime comes with this Chloe perfume, that perfume is pretty much gone, and it's definitely going to be gone if you go ahead and take another shower. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick review, and if you have any comments or opinions about this particular perfume, then please let me know. And if there are some other Chloe perfumes that you know of that you love or would suggest I try, then tell me in the comments as well. Again, thank you for watching, and if you want more videos, then please subscribe, and if you liked this one, then hit the like button. Bye guys.